Welcome back. Last year, you'll remember the chaos at Canada's largest cemetery located in Côte-des-Neiges, where grieving families were left in the dark over when their loved ones would be buried following a workers' strike. Now, over a year later, how can we justify the situation to families who waited over 2 years to bury their loved ones? Paul Caghassi joins me now. He is a spokesperson for the Association de défense des droits des défunts et des familles du Cimetière Notre-Dame-des-Neiges. Paul, welcome back to the show.
Hello, David. How are you?
I'm not bad. How are you doing?
We're doing okay. I mean, at least the cemetery is open, but it's not running well. As you might have read lately, many families are still struggling to get appointments to talk to the administration, and also the land is not so well maintained at this point. After almost, I would say, 11 months, maintenance employee came back to work, and the administration came back to work in February. So, as you can see, things are not under control, although the new general manager claimed that we should be patient another 3 to 4 weeks, and then everything could be run as normal. But I think it's outrageous to see that we're still struggling with the same case. And this is really our problem. We feel that we're not out of the problems. As you know, the deal which they signed will be the working deal is until 2027. And nothing has been done to correct the whole issue. So,
go ahead. Finish your thought.
So what we're really asking at this point is that the government has 3 years to resolve this and to make sure this will not happen again.
Let's go back in time a bit. I mean, when was the strike resolved? When did the workers come back to work?
Well, They went on strike early 2023, and then the maintenance people came back to work in August of 2023, so 8 months later. But the administration employee came back in February of 2024.
Okay, so at that time, Paul, there was a significant backlog. I remember we're talking about hundreds of bodies in freezers. I mean, have all these bodies been buried, or is there still a backlog?
Well, there is some left. We don't have the correct figures, and the cemetery is not opening up about the information there. The information we have is that there is still around 40 to 50 bodies still there. They might, some families are trying to reach out to the administration. As you might have read, there was a family, and it's a public knowledge, and we're trying not to make public the cases, but this was public on la presse. The family Heurtel waited 2 years to have their loved ones buried, but also the data were lost. The data about where the papers were, the papers, and so on. So we feel that, and what's disturbing is that you can see that when you talk to the union now, they still have the same attitude towards the management. It means that it's not our fault. We told you we're going to have these problems, and so on. It's the management's fault. So there is no sound working conditions between them, the way we see it. So this is our fear, that we're going to see this happening again and again. And that's why we're asking now the government to step in, and they have the tools to step in. There are 3 years they have to establish burying an essential service. Although it's a private company, but it's a public service. So burying should be an essential service, but also the government, through the Ministry of Social Affairs, has the power to impose on them to bury on each May 15 of every year, because this is the law. So it means if they close the gate on the cemetery and the union and impose on them to go back to work and to respect the law, we should be okay.
Before I get to that point, and I do want to get to it, I have a texter, I have Anne in Côte Saint-Luc, writing that she was there a few weeks ago. The weeds were as tall as the gravestones. It was very dangerous to walk. So what about that? What about the maintenance, the actual maintenance? There seems to be still a lot of backlog there, too.
Yeah, there is a lot of backlog, David, but also, as you know, in the spring, the weeds invade again.
Yeah.
So it's not like you have to go and clean the backlog. You have to maintain the cemetery. So they're still trying to go and deal with the backlog. But what about maintaining the cemetery? The cemetery is a museum. They have to care for it. So at this point, we are still suffering for not only this conflict, but there was a conflict in 2007 as well.
Yeah, the relationship between both sides is awful. That is clear, and it's not getting better. That's for sure. I have another texter, Al in Roxborough, telling me that he has an example, like people have to bring their own garden tools to maintain the grave sites of their family members. Is that true?
Yeah, it is true. And also there is a lack of trust between the families and the cemetery. So, I mean, at one point when grieving is a difficult process to deal with. Death is a fatality. Working conflict and management concept are not fatalities. So they should sit down and say, okay, enough is enough. Two conflicts within 17 years is not for the benefits of the population of Quebec and Montreal. So, I mean, that's why now we stayed quiet for 10 months. We knew that they have a backlog, and we didn't intervene. We've been getting the families been complaining and said, okay, give them the time. Now there is no time anymore. And I would say today, and I'm going back to this, the government has the tools now to resolve it. If you remember, David, when Mr. Boulay came back in September and said, this is enough, strike is not supposed to be this way. He said that it was misused by the union. The strike right was misused by the union by hurting other people. So it's time now for the government to step in and say, okay, there is no more really imminent crisis now. Get your act together, otherwise we're going to impose essential service. And we were imposing the essential service. And also, we are imposing on you guys to respect the law. No more bodies in the fridge if there is no need for it. The fridge is being used for only when it's a cold weather, not for striking. They should not be using it as a tool or a weapon against the families.
Do you have any members of the National Assembly, either opposition members or people in Jean Boulet's cabinet, the Minister of Labor, anybody on your side here working to help you get to that result?
Well, frankly, we have the opposition trying to help us, and they hesitate to step in because it's a private company. It's
a private company, and the church is involved also.
Yeah, but it's really the church is not happening. I mean, the church is. I think that this cemetery is starting to be too big for the church to help and to manage. They should pass on and say, okay, guys, we cannot manage anymore. Give it back. As you know, this is a concession from the Ville de Montréal to the church.
To the church,
Give it back to the Ville de Montréal or to the government. Say, okay, and at one point even bring maybe investments. Other people. I mean, this industry is booming. As you know.
It's a business. It's a business.
It's a business. It's booming, except for the cemetery. There are $100 million in the hole. So there is no. They have to restructure the whole cemetery, the whole structure. Maybe the general manager is trying his best, but it's going to be the fifth general manager. If he doesn't change the culture and the structure of the cemetery, we are heading up again in conflict in 2020.
You say the fifth manager in how many years?
It's, I think, 10 years.
The fifth general manager in 10 years?
Yeah. Ugh. You know, when I dealt with the management in 2014, when we did strike a deal with an amicable deal for our cours collectif, I established a very good relationship with the manager there. But they're gone. And 4 followed. And they didn't respect what they promised. So either we have to go back again to the judge and say this is not, or we could. But in the meantime, we had another strike.
Yeah.
So it was a lockout. Now it's a strike. What will be the next step?
All right, Paul. Thank you for this update, and keep us posted. I wish you the best moving forward for you and all the families.
Thank you, David. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Paul Caghassi, spokesperson for the association representing the families of the deceased at Cimetière Notre-Dame-des-Neiges.